just what you say. You just sold us the weapons anyway. So don't mess with us, we're foreign, we smell. We're Iraqi invaders from hell. If your telly goes wrong or your car won't start, you can bet your life that we played our part. Your team doesn't win or you miss the bus, then 10 to 1, it's all down to us. If a dog runs off with a copy of the Sun and brings it back with a crossword done, someone smacks you in the head, or you find Jeffrey Archer in your bed. We did it! And everything else as well, 'cause we're Iraqi invaders from hell. There's something rather sarky about an invading Iraqi, can't you tell? Something rather sarky about an invading Iraqi from hell. We imported neighbours to British shores. We personally started 3 world wars. We broke your grand's coronation mugs. We sold Ben Johnson all his drugs. We caused the plague and the Great Fire too. We brought the prices right to you. We pushed Bob Maxwell over the side. We took Mark Bolan for his last ride. And if you paid your poll tax, well, you're all Iraqi invaders from hell. Iraqi invaders from hell. Iraqi invaders from hell. Iraqi invaders from hell. Okay. Oh, they're still going. Go on, go downstairs and tell them to shut up again. Okay, this next one is very new. It's an ecological number. It's called Save the Whale. I have to read it because I only wrote it the day before yesterday. It's over there on Joseph's symbol. You can see it there sitting there. Here we go. When Mossad pushed him off the side, the tidal wave alone drowned everything within a 10-mile exclusion zone. The shockwaves reached New Zealand, and then with one accord, on the world shipping forecasts they yelled, "Fat man overboard, save the whale, save the whale, he's floating down in Spades, save the whale, his empire's down the drain. Now Pergamon is full of scabs, but this fat bastard, he's got crabs, there's one right on his tail, oh someone save the whale." A crooked floating vote fixer screamed, "Please don't let me drown." But like Oxford United, the only way was down. Now Greenpeace saves cetaceans from grim extinction's brink. But in the name of decency, this one was left to sink. Save the whale, he's floating out to sea. Save the whale, there are prawns where his eyes should be. And down there at the manor ground, they all bemoan their loss. They've always had a team of stiffs, now they've got one as the boss. And the worms on the Mount of Olives are on extra rations today. Oh, save the whale. Oh, save the whale. Ta. Okay. Johnny was a train spotter, he never hurt nobody. Now he's the Prime Minister, don't you think that's funny? He works out ways to bugger up the nation. Then he gets his notebook out and heads off down the station. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Now it's time to kick them out, to make this Tory hell end. If you vote them in again, I'm gonna eat my bell end. And now, before I do a couple of more serious ones, I'm now going to do the Ace of Spades by Motorhead, as Jean-Paul Sartre would have done it if he'd been the lead singer in Motorhead. If you want to gamble, baby, I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. If you want gamble, baby, I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. The Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. I know I'm born to lose, and gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever, and you can't get much more existentialist than that if you think about it. The Ace of Spades. Dead of night in Carpenter brings the ghosts from the days of fishing. Broken windows in the high street, swastikas in the cemetery. Long young men on a Dresden evening, beer and loathing on their breath. 10 to 1, like the cowardly fathers, arms outstretched in the sign of death. If it takes a voice, then shout the truth. If it takes a hand, then hold them back. If it takes a fist, then smash them down. From Cable Street to Hoyer's Fair, Panyard, Xenophobia and Le Pen. This is free Europe, never again. Afternoon in the Soviet city, now they don't even need to hide. Blue shirt thugs advertise their pogroms, none are arrested, none are tried. Panyards means a memory, what memories for these Russian Nazis? Children killed in front of their mothers, human skin turned into lampshades. If it takes a voice, then shout the truth. If it takes a hand, then hold them back. If it takes a fist, then smash them down. From Cable Street to Hoyer's Fair, Xenophobia and Le Pen. This is free Europe, never again. Once more we see that darkness in the European soul. As the chains fall, there comes an awful beast. His eyes are staring, and there is hell upon his brow. Oscar, Francois, Gregor, Tanya, listen to me now. If it takes a voice, then shout the truth. If it takes a hand, then hold them back. If it takes a fist, then smash them down. From Cable Street to Hoyer's Fair, Panyard, Xenophobia and Le Pen. This is free Europe, never again. I'm a Jew in Carpenter, I'm a Jew in the Soviet city, I'm an Asian in the East End, I'm a Cuban in East Germany. Don't tell me it doesn't concern us, it's not something to ignore. They are feeding on our apathy, that's how it began before. If it takes a voice, then shout the truth. If it takes a hand, then hold them back. If it takes a fist, then smash them down. From Cable Street to Hoyer's Fair, Panyard, Xenophobia and Le Pen. This is free Europe, never again. This is free Europe. This is free Europe. This is free Europe. This is free Europe. This next song's about what's happening in Eastern Europe right now, especially in East Germany, where I am Blyth Power. I've done many gigs. I've done 4 tours. I did 4 tours of East Germany before the wall came down, and some of the friends that I made in that time, who were the people who actually fought to overthrow the Stalinists and create some sort of new society, the most depressed out of all the people over there, because they've just exchanged the dictatorship of the Stalinists for the dictatorship of the International Monetary Fund. This is called Market Sector 1. Another new year and too much beer and goodbye to the wall. But now there's only disappointment, nothing left at all. The dreams we marched and fought for have faded and turned sour. The cabbage is a king now, it's Helmut's finest hour. And on the streets the people want it, as seen on TV. And a big bunch of bananas is a sign that you are free. It's just begun, Market Sector 1. As in the East, they talk about a future bold and new. 1,000 Western businessmen are celebrating too. The vultures are all circling, 'cause there's money to be made. A multinational carve up, a bank to be obeyed. And now the old rich foreigners make claims on every hand. You're living in my house, mine hair, you're farming on my land. It's time to run, Market Sector 1. Is that all that we were fighting for? Bananas and sex shops, nothing more. Welcome to the Western dream. Welcome to the cheap labour scheme. The whole of Europe's changing. Big brother's on the run. It could just be a brand new age of freedom has begun. But freedom doesn't bow its head to some finance's will. And Europe is our common home, not some gigantic till. So send the money grabbers riding off into the sun. And take your assets in your own hands, answerable to none. Then we'll have fun, and justice will be done. Right, now, what I'm going to do now is some of my poetry. Now they've stopped making the noise downstairs, which is great. The first one I'm going to do is a piece which I wrote following Rupert Murdoch's takeover of William Collins, which is a small publishing house, quite insignificant really. But Rupert Murdoch, as we know, has taken over most of the world, really, most of the media throughout the world. And on the basis that everything he touches, rather like Midas in reverse, everything he touches turns to shit. When he took over William Collins, any Christians in the audience should really be quite worried, because William Collins actually has the English publishing rights for the Bible. And on the basis of what he's done to everything else, I now give you the Bible according to Rupert Murdoch. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was gotcha! And the Lord Rupert said, let there be a royal family. And let unlimited quantities of trivia and drivel be written about them. Yea, even unto the point where a mentally subnormal yak couldn't possibly find it interesting anymore. And let babies be born unto this royal family, and let the huge swathes of sycophantic, nauseating sludge written about them surpass even that written about their parents, even though these babies and their parents are, in truth, about as interesting as a wet afternoon on the terraces at Selhurst Park. And the Lord Rupert said, let there be soap operas, and let each of these soap operas be so mind-numbingly moronic as to make a wet afternoon on the terraces at Selhurst Park seem a truly uplifting experience. Let entire forests and the ecological balance of several continents be destroyed in the endless vistas of retarded outpourings about these unspeakable transmissions, and let there be enormous breasts, and endless bonking, and hours and days and weeks and months and years of chauvinistic propaganda written by semi-literate, sexually inadequate craven toadies, so that the brain-dead prats like the bonking and the soap operas and the breasts and the royal stories get the politics as well. And that any journalist who tries to stand up to the editor and proprietor in the name of decency, intelligence and good taste be summarily dismissed. And cast forever into a bottomless pit of decomposing chimpanzee smegma. And let those journalists who suffer this fate rejoice at the great career move they have just made. And the Lord Rupert looked at his work, and even he saw that it was a load of crap. But this was the enterprise culture, and it sold millions, so it was good. And on the same basis, he decided to take over the television too. And the earth itself wept, and little robins vomited, and furry, cuddly animals threw themselves under trains, and the whole thing was filmed by Sky Channel for a horror nature programme. And the most awful thing of all was that this was just the beginning. Ta. Right, okay, now I'm going to do it. My next one's a rap. It's a rap in which I combine the two, the rantings of George Bush about the New World Order with some of the disco hits of one of my very favourite disco group, New Order, to create the ultimate nightmare, the New Order, New World Order, Nightmare, Smegma, Remix, Megamix. And it goes like this. Change the names and fudge the dates for United Nations for United States. Yeah, coming soon over your border. Disco Nightmare, New World Order. This is a real Blue Monday for a hapless world in motion. There's a blackhead army on your tail, so Sheila, be devotion. Don't express yourself, don't have big fun. Are you kidding? It's not one-on-one, it's a high-tech redneck bully gang. Hey look, your country just went bang. So here's a public service broadcast. He who lives obeys. And the moral of this story is, the next thing George Bush says, check it. Power, corruption and lies. Debate is compromise. So don't say wank to a Yank in a tank, because he who argues dies. You learn the game most carefully, but still you've got it wrong, because the New World Order makes the rules up as it goes along. 1 minute you're its bosom pal and general factotum, the next it's high technology is aimed straight at your head. Check it. Sell you arms, then bomb you flat, then sell you arms, then bomb you flat, then sell you arms, then bomb you flat, then sell you more arms. Fancy that. How sad are sad. You made them mad. Flight 103 bomb, really bad, but now you're glad they're on your side, so they'll forget the ones who died. They've got a soft spot for Pol Pot, mass murderer. Oh, surely not. He's one of theirs, knows how to please. He likes to kill Vietnamese, said terrorists, said allied troops, said terrorists, said allied troops. Ha! Change the names and fudge the dates for United Nations for United States. Yeah, coming soon over your border. Disco Nightmare, New World Order. Mary, her little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. But when the CIA found out, that lamb was sure to go. And as for the Grand Old Duke of York, well, he had 10,000 men, but the New World Order carpet bombed them till he had just 10. And then they signed a big arms deal. Now he's got lots again. We're not playing for England. England, we disappeared up Bush's arsehole long ago. Yeah, right in one with the new model army. High-tech, psychopathic, smarmy, the levelers. B-52, you raise your voice, they level you. They're crazy head, the senseless things. They're Charlie Harper's breath. Extreme noise terror. Ned's atomic dustbin. Napalm death. Yeah, power, corruption and lies. Debate is compromise. So don't say wank to a Yank in a tank, because he who argues dies. And here's to the world's policeman with hands knee deep in crime. And well done, Ian Curtis, you got out just in time. I'm so bored with the USA. Well, what can I do? Ta. You probably hear my voice has gone. I've got flu. But nevertheless, we carry on regardless. This next one is a piece. What? Is that Freebird? Did someone shout? Anyway, the next one. If I pray silence for the poet here. The next one's a piece which I wrote really in response to the huge amounts of gumph and offensive lies and crap churned out in the tabloid press, especially The Sun, about foreign people, and especially also influenced by the amount of dickheads who still think that supporting England and away football matches means wearing a pair of Union Jack shorts and a Union Jack t-shirt and behaving like a total, complete cretin. This is called Xenophobia 1992, Welcome to the Single European Market. It's inspired by the antics of people like the Chelsea headhunters, and it's the Englishman's Guide to European Travel, as compiled by the Chelsea headhunters and translated into English by the editorial staff of The Sun. And it goes like this. The Dutch, they're much too much. We're going to kick them in the crutch, flick bogies at the slimy walks and trip them up with their own clogs. We'll twist their ears and break their glasses, stick their tulips up their arses, foul their windmills with our bells and vomit into their canals. The Danes will bash their brains and wire their willies to the mains, boycott their bacon and their prawns, go and piss over their lawns. The scabby Scandinavian scum got scrotal scabies of the bum. They live on fish heads and weak tea. Their lager tastes like K9P. The Swiss, they stink of piss. No race more tedious than this, with cuckoo clocks and huge amounts of money in their bank accounts. They may be rich, but we don't care. We'll shave off all their pubic hair and make them live in Belgium. That's the right place for the boring brats. The French, they smell like tench. We'll chase them all into a trench, get loads of garlic on our breath and suffocate them all to death. We don't like onions, snails or Proust, so smeg off frogs, we rule the roost. You may be existentialists, but we're dead hard and we get pissed. The Czechs, they're scared of sex. They've all got crabs and skinny necks. Their cars are shit, their beer's too strong. We're not going to stay there for long. There's absolutely zilch to do. There's no black label and no glue, so we'll just wreck the place and go and leave them to their queues and snow. The Finns live out of tins. They all look like the Cocteau twins. Their scenery's not very nice because most of it's a mass of ice, so don't go there, it's much too chilly. You'll end up with a frozen willy. It's a godforsaken hole obscenely close to the North Pole. The Krauts, they think they're louts, but I've seen nasty Brussels sprouts. They strut around like football yobs, but they're all talk and cheesy knobs. They live on pickled vegetation. What a fucking stupid nation. All their nipples are bright green. The strangest folk I've ever seen. The Swedes, well, they're all weeds, and all their cities look like Leeds. They walk around with plastic bags and noses stuck in porno mags. They live on fish just like the Danes, but they've got even smaller brains. Their language sounds like double Dutch. Their land smells like a llama's crutch. The Greeks will slap their cheeks and knock them up in bogs for weeks, puke in their restaurants and bars and write good slogans on their cars. We'll get a load of herpes scabs and stick them all in their kebabs and write a note in puke to say, Club 1830, we're all okay. The Poles eat toilet rolls. Their underpants are full of holes. They have to queue over now to get a mouldy cauliflower. They whine and whinge and gripe and moan and play the hairy pink trombone. They're always wanking in the loo. There's fuck all else for them to do. The Yanks, duh. Many thanks for bringing in your bombs and tanks, protecting us from Arab hordes, and bringing herpes and skateboards. You're foreigners, but you're all right, 'cause you speak English and you fight. Well, so it tells me in The Sun. God, being a moron is such fun! Thank you. Cheers. Okay. It's another rap. This is a rap which I wrote about rap. This rap is about all the, it's what you call a double standard. There's a load of dickheads who are really racist, sexist, homophobic and violent, and they make records that are racist, sexist, homophobic and violent, and the trendy liberal music press gives them good reviews simply because they're black. It's stupid, right? This is dedicated to Pratt's Like 2 live crew. It's called the Iron Men of Rap. Right, and in its original form it was backed by the Men They Couldn't Hang, who unfortunately are not only not here tonight but are now split up. But so you just got to imagine the backbeat, which was the riff from Iron Man by Black Sabbath, that I'm sure some of you know, which goes da 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 da. Yeah, the Iron Man rappers with your big gold chains. You talk like the clappers, but you don't use your brains. The Grandmaster's message made me hold my breath, but now I'd rather listen to Lawnmower Death. You rap about your gold and you rap about your car. You rap about what good rappers you are. You rap about your guns and the money you make and the size of your one-eyed trouser snake. You say it's bigger than the Albert Hall, but I bet it's like an earthworm, very, very small. You say it's bigger than the Albert Hall, but I bet it's like a maggot, or you ain't got one at all. You run on stage with your guns in a rage like angry prisoners fresh out of the cage. Your fingers on the trigger and you want to engage, turning on the chill in the new Ice Age, and there's violence, violence in the air. But some of you like it, you don't seem to care. And there's violence, violence in the air. But some of you like it, you don't seem to care. No, I don't know the dollar and I don't know the gun, and the rapping they come in don't bother me none. I want to rap fast and I want to have fun, and I mean have fun, not shoot someone with your massive testicles and concrete cock. Gonna bust a gonad every time you rock. Every move in your body is designed to shock. So yo there, shiver boy, how's your flock? No, I don't want to hear about segregation. I don't want to hear about your perfect nation. Don't want to hear about Farrakhan, because Farrakhan is an evil man. And hey everybody, let's make a show, because if Farrakhan gets you, you're gonna go from the hair on my head to my hairy scroll. I'm out to the bottle and ready to blow. The rap I rap is black and white. This rap says unionised, don't fight. This rap doesn't wallow in liberal guilt. It just says equal up to the hill. This rap's got a penis of average size, not a huge great whale flopping out of its flies. No gold, no chains, no hype, no lies. Just a thinking brain and a pair of sharp eyes. So wise up rappers, and before you spout, find something original to rap about. I've had my say, now it's over and out. From MC Attila, the poetry tout is MC Attila. The poetry tout said MC Attila. The poetry tout said MC Attila. Signing out. Ta. Cheers. Right. Now I'm going to do something slightly quieter. Hey, what's that? Acid House. No, thank you. No. Mega City 4, mate. Not Acid. No. No Acid House. Blyth Power. Mate, Acid House is hot. Acid House plays by machines. It's worse than watching Blur. And anyway. Right, okay, this next one is an old one. Old, but nevertheless, sadly still relevant. I wrote this in 1982, which is 10 years ago. It should have gone out of date in 1700. And it's a poem which I still think is the best one I've ever written, which is why I've done it in every single gig I've done, which is now more than 1,000. I wrote this after an unbelievable court case in which a High Court judge ruled that a woman who was hitchhiking late at night and was picked up and raped was asking to be raped and therefore guilty of contributory negligence, and the man who raped her was let off with a fine. And it made a lot of people very angry, including myself, and I wrote this poem, which is about a High Court judge who picks up a hitchhiker late at night and gets beaten up. And it's also called Contributory Negligence. Hitching up the M11, coming back from an Upstarts gig, got picked up by half 11 by this bloke in a funny wig. Flash Mercedes, new and gleaming, deep pile seats and deep sea piles. I got in and sat there scheming while the knobbin flashed me smiles. Told me he was back from sessions with a load of brain-dead hacks. Told me he made no concessions to the boot boys and the blacks. Said he thought that it was stupid fuss about rapists on the news. Bloke was only playing Cupid. Girls like that, they don't refuse. Asked me if I thought him enemy, asked me if I bore a grudge, told me that he came from Henley, said he was a High Court judge, asked him to stop a second, he'd a slash, that's what I said. When he did, the anger beckoned and I smacked him in the head, took the keys and took his money, crashed the car into a ditch. Though he moaned, they'll get you, son, he got away without a hitch. I don't think they'll ever find me because I'm many miles away, but if one day they're right behind me, I know what I'm going to say. He asked for it! He's rich and snobbish, right-wing, racist, sexist too, brain-dead, stupid, sick and slobbish, should be locked in London Zoo. He wanted me to beat him up. It was an open invitation. Late at night he picked me up, an act of open provocation. High Court judges are a blight, they should stay home in nice warm beds, and if they must drive late at night should never pick up Harlow Reds. A 5p fine is right and proper, and to sum up my defence, it was his fault he came a cropper. Contributory negligence. Ta. Yes. Right, now I'm going to do a decomposition. I do the occasional decomposition. I've just been, well, we both in the last year have been to Australia. I went to Australia about, well, in end of November and toured Australia and New Zealand, which was great fun. And there's obviously a lot of animal lovers here tonight, which is great, because I love animals too. They love animals in New Zealand a lot, you know, especially sheep. But I'll get onto that later. In the first instance, I went to Australia, and since I love animals dearly, I took along my camera to try and photograph some of these exotic species that you get in Australia. But this is the story of really what happened. It's the decomposition. Now, I'm not much one for snapshots, though the world is now my oyster. I chronicle my wanderings in poem and in song, but when I came down under, I brought along my camera to photograph the wildlife, that rich and teeming throng. For the first few days in Oz, I wasn't sure that they existed. Those strange exotic species, they mostly run away. But on the way to Melbourne, the truth became apparent. If you want to see some wildlife, then take the motorway. There are wallabies and wombats, there are possums, birds and lizards, and kangaroos of all sorts, yes, even a big red, and all these different species, well, they have one thing in common. Yes, each of them is wonderfully, spectacularly dead. Now I'm chronicling nature, and I'm going to do it my way, taking photos of dead animals along the Prince's Highway. Now there are lots of flies in Aussie. Now I know just where they come from, because there were lots of maggots in the creatures that I saw. Yes, every little corpsey was a blowfly kindergarten, more wrigglers and more squirmers than I've ever seen before. Now I've made my contribution to Australian natural history, and it's in your country's honour that I decompose this song. But one word of advice to all you wild death photographers: stay inside your car, because the bastards don't have pong. There are wallabies and wombats, there are possums, birds and lizards, and kangaroos of all sorts, yes, even a big red, and all these different species, well, they have one thing in common. Yes, each of them is wonderfully, spectacularly dead, and with a squelch, another hapless kangaroo's the day that the government of Victoria built that new Hume motorway. Then I went to New Zealand, which was a very strange place. It's rather like a huge Women's Institute convention with a few Maori street gangs and some Nazi skinheads. I didn't expect to find Nazi skinheads in New Zealand, but they do reckon they're 10 years behind the rest of the world. While I was there, something actually happened which got people a bit worked up, which was the fact that the last guy who bombed the Rainbow Warrior was arrested on an Interpol warrant that was still outstanding in Switzerland. They let him off. A lot of people were really fed up about this, but the reason that the New Zealand government let off all the people that did that was economic, as this song will now explain, to a popular tune. Somewhere under the rainbow swam a spy, planted a bomb and left a man to die. Murder sanctioned by the Bolger crew. Sheep-shagging farmers told them what to do. Kiwi corporate interests don't give a damn. They just want someone to buy their lamb. Spineless politicians toe the line. I've seen molten jelly with more spine. This angry Pom is quite concerned for you. Surrounded by sheep and governed by them too. This lamb is your lamb, this lamb is my lamb. From its lovely jumper to its pert little rectum. This lamb is your lamb, this lamb is my lamb. This lamb was made for you and me. You've been talking in your sheep. Right, my voice is giving out. No, I'm not going to do Mountaineering in Belgium tonight. My voice is giving out. I'm going to do one last one and then we're going to get Blyth Power on. Since I'm playing the fiddle and half their set too, I'm going to get a beer in between. So thanks for listening, those who were, and those who weren't, don't worry about it. This is it's another rap. This is another rap, and I'm going now to the other side of rap, really, and a side yet unknown, really, not really known. Because rappers are mostly supposed to, well, they're supposed to try and portray themselves as being really tough and everything, even if, like, Vanilla Ice or something like that, they're not, obviously. But recently, a new rapper appeared on the scene, the world's first rapping train spotter, MC Train Spotter, and his posse, the Platform 2 live crew. Now, in deference to Joseph Porter, MC Train Spotter and the Platform 2 live crew are now going to perform their very first rap, and it's called Boys in the Hood, which of course in this case is the anorak hood, and it goes like this. MC Train Spotter, yeah, that's me, and this is my homeboy, Nice T. Now some people think the train spotting's rot, but me and my posse, we say it's not. All you need is a camera, notebook and pen, you write down a number, then you write one down again. We're ignored by the nation, we go down the station, and we've got another hobby, masturbation. I don't walk away, because I'm talking to you. You know what they call us? The Platform 2 live crew. Now me and my homeboys work in a bank, and at the weekend, we go to the library. On Saturday mornings, I like shopping, and then I go amateur league ground hopping. I nearly caught pneumonia at Billingham Synthonia. Want another layout of the ground? I'll phone you. And at half time, I've got everything I need. A nice telephone, directory to read, yes, MC Train Spotter in the house. I've got the sass, and I've got the nous. I don't live in a ghetto like those rappers in the States. I like the police. Yes, they're my best mates. I've never been arrested. It goes without saying. I've reported lots of people I've seen travelling without paying. And here's what I say to every other rapping crew. Well, I'm okay at rapping, but I'm not as good as you. But I do think you spend far too much on your gear. I could save you some money, so please listen here. My trainers are from Oxfam and they cost 50p. My anorak's my mum's and the carrier bag was free. I wouldn't wear a gold chain, somebody might mug me. And I don't want a baseball cap, they really bug me. Me and my posse, we're the boys in the hood. And it keeps out the rain now. Isn't that good? And if you want information when you're down the station, just ask me. It'll fill me with elation. MC Train Spotter, yeah, that's me. Yo there, homeboy. Want a cup of tea? Thank you, good night. No. Yeah, I've got can Carl Spence go out and see John on the stairs? Now, especially for all my fellow Blyth Power fans, here is my version of Junction Signal. Blyth Power don't play this anymore, and they certainly don't play it with these words. I stood upon a bridge for 15 hours, waiting for a train that didn't come. I farted, pulled the petals of some flowers, and then I stuck my finger up my bum. And then a massive smile of joy lit up my face. It was the Reading Gatwick Sprinter with extra luggage space. I took the number with a gleeful shout, and then I got my little camera out. Some people read the telephone directory, some dig holes that fill them in again. Some people sit around and watch paint drying, but me, I just take photos of a train. And now I know just where I want to be, on a bridge outside Slough Station with a flask of lukewarm tea. 'Cause Nerd Train Spotter Features is my name, and all my photo albums look the same. you, good night.